going to do quick introductions to the team who are doing delivery today. I'm going to actually start with Leon, so you can explain who you are. Do you need a mic?
Yeah, my name's Leon Sish. I'm here today filming. I do streaming as well, working with my Clear Text who are doing live transcription. So I do filming. I do a lot of filming for education events and conferences. One of my big clients is the Research Ed conference that happens every year for research in education. I also have done a course on mobile, how to film with your mobile and put that up. I do a lot of courses like that working in education. I'm also a STEM ambassador, which working with children in schools to teach them computing, in fact, because I'm quite technically minded, but I was a teacher for a number of years as well.
Okay, thank you. And Orla and Nicola?
Hi, I run a company called My Clear Text, and we provide this kind of service. So at events, it's live transcripts. So we're both stenographers. We use speech-to-text writers. And we're actually filming this event with subtitles. So it means it can go straight up onto platforms because it has the subtitles on it, which means you can get your output onto all the major platforms. But it's very useful for people who have some hearing problems. It's very useful for you people down the back if you can't hear. It's very useful for the 1 in 4 people who start to lose their hearing once they get to a certain stage in life. It's also very useful for people who have English as a second language. It's very useful for them. So we have lots of feedback from people, and it's not just the 1 or 2 people who might request it because they have hearing problems. So if you want to talk to us about it, we're up here and we'll show you our funny little machines. Thanks.
I'm going to introduce it. And I'm guessing that the text is also coming up on the television screens, so you don't have to squint so much from the end. I'm going to introduce the delivery team now, so just quickly to introduce themselves, or you will hear more from them during the day.
Yes. My name's Helen McKeith, and I'm a teacher at Barnet and Southgate College, teaching on a provision especially for people with mental health conditions.
Hi, I'm Anneli White. I'm with the City of London on the Learning Well project, and I'm here today to help facilitate.
Hi, I'm Brenda Harrison. I'm here today. I've been working as one of the pilots on this project, just here to offer my knowledge and experience as an IAG professional, and gaining lots from you, I hope. That would be nice.
Thank you. Do you want to come in and find a seat somewhere? And I'm Katharine James, who I think most of you have met before. I worked in education delivering IAG and courses for people with mental health problems many years ago, and I've done subsequent work kind of with Katina on kind of national work and have used this model that we're going to be talking about today. Okay, so just quickly, the aims of the day. One of the things that the team and I are kind of quite keen to stress here is we don't see ourselves as the experts on this. We obviously have done a lot of work and which we want to share with you, but actually one of the things that's important for us today is to recognise that actually the collective strengths and skills within all of you, within all the projects, and we want to be able to kind of draw that out and share that today, and I think that's an important thing to recognise. The other thing is to recognise that actually we may have concerns about that, and we may have things that we don't think we're quite so good at, and that is also important, that you feel that you can share that where you are struggling with something, or it doesn't make sense to you, or you would like to perhaps develop that. So we need to understand that kind of collective need, and I'm going to get you to do an exercise with that. But one of the things we want to get out of today is that you have an understanding, if you like, of an IAG model that you can now apply to your projects quite easily, okay? And that in using that model to get an insight into the kind of a range, if you like, of practitioner skills that you will need to be able to make most effective use of kind of the IAG model. So what we want to do is, if you like, to start to give you a bit of a kind of toolkit of some IAG skills that you might want to try out. But also, the thing that we also wanted to say to you is that when we're talking about this, we're not talking about something that that we apply to learners on your courses. This is not about them and us. The sorts of things that you will be talking about today are actually probably things that you have done for yourselves in your life, or you will have done them for people around you, whether you've got a partner, children, etc. It's a decision-making kind of process that we do all the time. Not just about learning or work, but we do it about, you know, buying a house or whatever. So there are lots of skills that we often kind of have to think about and use. So it's not them and us, it's all of us. We're doing that. And I think that's a really important thing for us to recognise. And also how, in using an IAG model, it's also about how that helps us to develop our projects. Okay? So does that make sense? Okay? Everybody happy with that? So first thing I want you to do is, on your table, you've got a piece of flip chart with a very kind of tried and tested SWOT analysis there. Okay, everybody is familiar with SWOT, aren't you? Yeah, probably. Okay, so what I want you to do is I want you to, in your groups, think about your pilots, your projects, and think about, in relation to IAG, what you think are your strengths or your weaknesses, but what are the opportunities there are in terms of applying an IAG and what you gain from doing IAG on your projects, but also what are the kind of threats and the difficulties. So if you could complete that in relation to your pilots. Now, what I would like to do is, when you fill that in, and I want you to do it quite quickly. I don't want you to spend too much time thinking about it. I'm going to each ask you to kind of feed back one each from each table. But if you write on them, and if you could write which pilot you're from, that would be really helpful, because I'm going to go away and take them and type them up so that we can share them later and actually get a bit of an understanding of where people are and where there are strengths, etc. Okay? So is that all right?